Mike, okay.
Oh, there he is.
Yo, hey,
So, Mike,
Are you running a science experiment back there?
oh, that's cool.
I had to get my engine running this morning.
Is that like an what do you
Yes,
call it?
What is it?
Antimatter reactor or
it's an
something?
antimatter reactor.
Oh,
Dilithium crystals inside there.
nice.
How you boys doing?
Not so bad.
Pretty
Went
good,
out for a
buddy.
ride.
Nice.
Didn't come back.
Good. Turn off your phone.
Yeah. Mine was. George was outside,
Yeah,
circling the apartment building.
banging on windows. Wake up.
Dave, is that
Yeah.
you? I wasn't even sure. He says, I think I'm. Yeah.
Who the fuck is a crazy man out there banging on
It's-
windows?
He's crazy.
So,
How's it going?
oh, not so bad. Not so bad. There he is.
Oh.
Somebody else.
Mikey.
I see an M. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, you cold?
Yeah, you see what it's doing up here? You guys
So-
down south, man.
Well, freezing rain. A little bit of accumulation
we got-
too.
We got the white stuff happening.
Yeah, we had some yesterday as well, but certainly not as much as you, I'm sure. Yeah, look at you.
It's coming down, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
winter has still got a grip on us.
Yeah, I had a little bit of it yesterday morning. My flowers are just coming in. God damn it.
Yeah.
My mother has a field of daffodils practically. The whole it's huge patch, and I'm sure they're all covered.
Not this year.
Freezing rain.
That's it. That's all the spring you're getting. Spring? It all died. You get them
I'm here to drink
wildflower
coffee and-
seeds.
I'm here to drink coffee and argue, and I'm out of coffee.
What do you want to argue about?
What do you got?
Is it a real dire wolf or is it not?
I haven't read the official reports on it.
I
yet,
saw that
but,
and I moved on. Oh no! Oh no!
Is it
You know-
next year that they're going to attempt to impregnate an Indian elephant with an embryo that's been altered in CRISPR for a woolly mammoth? I think next year.
Let's hope. Listen.
Yep.
They took a wolf. They took an egg out of a wolf, which has like 98.8% the same as the dire wolf.
Like
And then-
99.5.
99.5. Okay, so that's
That's
even
great.
more. So they're even
Yeah.
more closely related. And then using CRISPR, they just duplicated the genetics of a dire wolf because they have the dire wolf's DNA. So if the genetics are duplicated exactly, it's a dire wolf.
Oh,
No
good.
matter how they arrived at it, if it's got the dire wolf genetics, that code is the same.
Yeah, but it's a shit design. You can because it's extinct. Didn't work out. Then we're
Well-
bringing that back for.
Well, that was it was the younger Dryas that killed off most of the megafauna in North America and northern hemisphere that got rid of the dire wolf. So I mean, wasn't like it was bred for extinction, so to speak. It was kind of an environmental disaster that caused its demise. But
And some of the species they're trying to bring back are ones that were hunted to extinction. Although the mammoth, they like to say the mammoth was hunted to extinction. I'm
I
sure
don't believe
people
that
were
at all.
part of it, but they were already damaged.
We think so highly of ourselves that we made them extinct. We made all that stuff extinct in North America. I don't.
No, we didn't make those.
No, we kick ass. We're
In
just.
fact, I think they were planning in some areas of Siberia reintroducing the mammoth if they could get to a breeding population.
No humans. We
It's
ruined
weird that-
everything. Look, the book.
It's weird to think that
The book.
that mammoths were alive and walking the planet when they were building the pyramids. Isn't that
Yeah,
weird?
they're not that far back.
No, it's like 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Alan Watts.
Taboo against knowing who you are, Alan. Watts.
And the ones out on Wrangell Island might be
You know
like
what I
2,000
said.
years.
You
from
always
now.
slip out stuff like synchronicity and shit. So
So-
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, bring them back. Why not? Bring back
They
the
got,
white
like-
rhinoceros too.
They're still
You got,
not
like,
going to get
5
me
or
to go to the zoo.
Fuck
They
it, I'll
don't-
go to the zoo.
Zoo.
I don't
I
give a
don't go
fuck.
They
to
don't want them in the zoo. You're more apt to see them in the Smithsonian than the zoo. But they
Well, that
created the woolly
depends.
mouse. Did you hear about that?
What?
They created the woolly mouse.
Yes, they did as a precursor to test the
Yeah.
the CRISPR method.
They created a chicken with a long tail and teeth too.
Did they?
With teeth.
Teeth. Oh, they
Saber-tooth
didn't.
tiger?
They didn't add anything. They just shut off certain genes that prevented the expression of teeth.
That'd be weird if I woke up, I found a bunch of humans around me making me and shit. What the fuck are you doing?
1966. Boy, you're going through the whole with 1960s with what's his
So
name?
I got
Yeah.
I got bit by a tick.
Yeah,
There's a
really?
There's a red ring
Stanislaus
around
Lem.
the bite,
You ever
Very
read that?
good. Yeah.
and I woke up with the
My first
cluster
shot
headache.
with That one. Oh,
It's just today.
sounds like a
yesterday?
trip.
yesterday.
What's that now?
You get the
So
Let's
I'm
get the
thinking,
antibiotics.
Mike's got
Get
Lyme,
antibiotics?
man, or getting
I got
Lyme.
some. I'm going to start
Trying-
taking them.
He's trying to get Lyme. That's what
No
He's
way.
on a mission to get Lyme.
Mm-mm.
Hey, did you
You
see
don't
that
want
shit
that.
about deer, Mike?
What about them?
They got a picture like a deer flying at the windshield of a bus, right? Because they got bus cameras. There's this deer. So they say there's too many deer. They want to, and they said it said in that thing. It said that to help, they were gonna do away with the restrictions of being able to harvest roadkill, right? Of deer, and I was like, what the fuck? How could that help? And I go, oh, maybe. So it would encourage guys with trucks to swerve towards, because that'd be like a way of. I'm kidding about that part, but that seemed like an odd thing they put there. They wanted. They said we
That's
should
kind of
do-
weird.
Yeah.
Because there is a restriction on roadkill, but nobody pays attention to it.
We used to get them all. I didn't know there was one.
Well, gun clubs could pick them up for
Yeah, we
game
did
dinners, but private citizens weren't supposed to take them off the side of the road,
Oh, is that it? Okay.
And they set up a fake deer here in Foster
Oh, brother.
on the side of the road
Yeah.
because they thought that someone was picking them up and selling them in Providence, right?
Okay.
So, the first guy that stopped was just some guy on his way home from work, just a carpenter, had a pickup truck, wanted to throw it in the back of his truck. They were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I don't want to let it go to waste."
Them good eating.
Yeah. So they said, "Get out of here! You can't do that." Next was two old ladies trying to throw it in the trunk of their car. They're like, "What are you doing?"
I would have
It's like,
loved to
"Oh,
see
it's a
that.
perfectly good deer. Don't want to let it go to waste."
Come on,
And
Sonny,
everybody
let's-
who stopped
Yeah.
was just a regular person, and they finally just said, "Fuck it," and they took their deer and went home.
Fuckers.
There
Well-
was no big conspiracy. It was just that people around here just pick them up because it's perfectly good meat sitting there on the side of the road.
So anyway, they would like people who want deer to go get more deer. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, there's less guys hunting. Nobody hunts anymore,
And they keep
Young guys aren't hunting.
Oh.
When I first moved here, I couldn't even go out in shotgun season. There was guys all over the woods.
Fuck, remember we were out there once, right? And we go, what the fuck's all this gun? And then we both realized at the same time we were in the woods in the wrong time. Like it was the day. What's that? What's the mic? What's all with the gunfire, right? Holy shit, let's get the fuck out of here, right?
That's
Yeah.
because they can go to the store and say, "Hey, I can go buy my meat and not get Lyme disease."
Well,
They
I
say
got bit by a tick yesterday. I wasn't out hunting.
he's just out in his, just living out there.
We don't see people out in the woods much anymore either. Around there, anyway.
See a lot of people
Unless
hiking.
you're on a,
these days.
unless you're on what do they call those motive ATVs? Yeah,
Yeah,
ATVs.
four wheelers.
those quad quad bikes, I think.
Quad.
The
See, a lot of
quads.
people on them. A lot of people hiking. Well, there's a lot of these towns around here have land trusts. They have like trails, hiking trails. There's a lot of people are retiring and they're still kind of young like us, you know, and going out hiking every day.
Good
Good
for them, man.
exercise.
Some go in
It
and
is.
they don't come out. Ah. Ooh.
My wife's cousin
Somebody up here.
sent this video about this woman, this TikToker, who was saying that must be a serial killer out loose. I tried to send you guys the link, but I have to belong to TikTok to send the link. Saying that there's a serial killer loose out in Foster, and she accuses Foster as being one of those sundown towns, and
That's
that
good.
we have churches of Satan that
Yeah, we do.
dismember corpses and.
Oh yeah. The whole town's that way.
Who are you pointing at?
Let everybody. They're over here too. Everybody around me is a Satan.
I know. I saw someone posted about a serial
Stay
killer,
away.
and they're using, because there were two bodies found nearby each other. There's one found in Foster and one found over in Killingly.
Yeah.
But then they were using all these bodies, like one was found in Woods Hole and one was found in like New Hampshire.
and,
and, like,
there's
a serial killer.
in New Haven, and it says, well, it was probably like 100 unsolved murders between here and there, you know. So.
Yeah. But they even got the picture of the guy, right? So there's a guy who is maybe insane. We don't know. He's like walking up to people, walking up to kids and stuff, and he drives a Toyota pickup. And so they're saying that he's the serial killer.
Yeah,
like-
that's what this woman was saying. This guy in this black pickup truck with tinted windows she pulled over on the side of the road, supposedly where the body was found, and she was doing her podcast in this black pickup truck. She didn't get film any footage of it, but the black pickup truck just pulled up in front of her and tried to intimidate her. Didn't get out of the truck or anything, but just sat there in a very intimidating male kind of way, I guess.
Serial killer, obviously.
Yeah, and so she got freaked out and she left right away and
So,
continued her little micro podcast on TikTok about serial killers and churches of Satan,
that's good content, man.
dismembered corpse.
You know what? Like it's like, oh, who's that? Oh no, crazy person. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, I gotta run. Click like and subscribe.
And I think they just convicted the guy who killed his girlfriend, the pregnant girlfriend, who dumped the body
Oh
at
no,
Carbuncle
yeah.
Pond.
Holy
I
shit,
think.
right?
Yeah,
What a bunch
So-
of assholes.
yeah.
What a friend, though. Huh?
Horrible people.
I was thinking, like, so you guys wouldn't do that for me.
Foster dumping ground, I guess.
help me dump my girlfriend into a hole in the fucking ice.
Yeah, they say that's the mark of true friendship.
I'm telling you, man.
Help your buddy
You ain't willing to do
dispose
that.
of a body.
You're no
for it.
friend of mine.
This
man.
is
Won't even help-
I don't think so.
won't
All right.
even let me
I
help.
love you guys, but I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna
Come
trouble
on,
with it.
help me with his body. I'm old. Fucking broad's heavy.
Unless they really deserved it, then I guess.
Well, of course, you know, who you gonna believe? Me or the dead girl?
But if it's like a dead hooker or something like that, that you
Oh,
just got out of hand with
scandal. That's how you draw the line.
Forget about
You
it.
didn't have to. You don't have to kill a hooker. What the hell's wrong with you? You just pay them, they'll shut up. That's all. They're cheap.
She wouldn't take a check.
You wouldn't take a check.
It's not like you're speaking from experience there, Dave.
Yeah, she wouldn't lick my asshole.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Hey, Mikey,
just
remember
freaking
that time they did a
standards
sting in
over
Providence?
yeah, I
and
remember
I were-
that. Yeah,
You and I were in Providence, and this real pretty girl said hi to us.
yep, yep.
Mean guy.
And we're like,
I see you later.
see you later. Well, it turned out the next day they had 130 some guys in the paper who would,
Fell for it.
fell for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a date.
Yeah, you know how we knew? Because no pretty girl ever came up and said hi to us.
Yeah, it's who out there.
She was really pretty too.
Yeah, there's no way.
This has got to be fake.
It's gotta be. I smell a rat.
Yeah. There was one in Warwick. They used to work guys who are men, places where men gathered, like barbershops and stuff. And I was getting my hair cut in this barbershop. Really pretty girl, but she was selling stuff, She's going up saying hi to everybody and she's coming in, but she had this whole list of magazine subscriptions and whatnot.
Huh.
You know, that old scam.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mike, make me one while you're at it. Look at that coffee press, stainless steel. That guy's living.
Wow,
Living
man!
the
Look at
life.
this! Look at
Look at
this! Look at this! Oh,
Oh man,
black medicine.
what's that? The garlic cloves,
He's not sure.
or is that mushrooms?
Just stuck at the bottom of the thing.
Oh, coconut. Yeah.
Oh, that'll get things moving. Yeah.
All right, man. Somebody's living the life.
Oh wow! Look at this, man.
Look at this.
Oh,
Look at,
Oh,
remember
look
when
at
Mikey
that.
lived in a
Look at
That
cabin with
fancy
no electricity?
stir there. Look at that. Oh my God.
Ooh, circus food.
Jesus Christ. You're just showing us all up over here. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Living the best life.
Look at him. He's
Hey,
high
look at
tech
that,
too.
Look at
Look
that
at him.
hand action.
Hey,
there, man. That's
hey.
from that's experienced hand action.
Jesus. No, I'm excited. Don't do that.
Oh man.
Don't do that for
All
us.
right, man. You ruin it for us now,
Yeah.
buddy.
Jesus. You see that thing? Looked like a worm coming out of a hole. A hairy hole.
Cheers.
Fucking alien.
Oh man.
Bulletproof coffee, baby.
All right.
Just black. One black.
Oh sure.
This thing.
Oh okay.
Interesting.
Man.
With the podcast, I expect content on all
All right.
three.
Contact. Hey. Got,
Hey, how about that Dave? Is he gone? Let's
Yeah,
talk
he's
about
gone.
Dave.
Let's hear it. Come on.
What?
Spill. Hurry up.
I got nothing. Dave is controversy free. There's nothing you can say about him.
So, what did you say? You got a reoccurrence, re-up? Your Lyme disease got
I got
re-upped?
bit.
Huh?
I got bit. I had a tick in me, and there's a red ring around it.
Yeah.
Another dose of antibiotics.
Oh boy.
At least
You
it
get
ain't
some
for-
chickens, Mike, to eat the ticks.
Yeah, something.
I just got 16 more. I got
Did ya?
16 more Bodrocks. From,
Oh, nice.
From my
What's that bring?
grandniece's classroom, I think. They said they asked me if I wanted one because they were trying to sell them. So I said, yeah, I'll take a couple. And then she ends up coming by with a box of like 16. No one wanted them, they said.
Whoa.
Wow.
So,
They
That's
worse?
funny. Like all the feed stores around here, they have chicks in the spring. They're all sold out right away.
yep. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's raising chickens all of a sudden.
Yes. And
So you got 16 new. You got 16 new ones. How many is your flock now?
oh, I'll be 32. Thinking if these all make it to maturity. So
That's a big flock.
George
Yeah,
is going to
well,
have
for-
an egg farm. He won't be the only egg farm on your road.
no, we have one. It may be the
It's
only
only-
one in Rhode Island
Really?
that's left.
Yeah, but Georgia's got the only free range, pasture fed.
Yes,
Organic.
organic calmback layer pellet feed, plus all the bugs and worms and anything else
Organic
you can find in
tofu.
the yard. But
It's a good retirement plan right there.
I was at the supermarket, and free range organics are going for $11.50 a dozen now.
4OB chicken.
But anyway, and I got a new roof.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It's great. It's freaking
Yeah?
awesome. And
Did the insurance take care of it?
Only $1,000 deductible.
Wow,
That's all it
Wicked.
costs.
that roof will outlast you now.
Yeah,
You never have to worry about that again.
You should do this. You should check this out. Thank you, Dave.
It's hot. Yeah.
It's going to happen one way or another. I mean, my roof is getting old. It's going to get damaged.
Well, let it get damaged, and call these guys, and they'll do the dickering with the insurance company for you.
Cool.
You know, and dickered they did, and it even cost me. They even replywood half of my roof.
Really?
Because of the water damage, they replaced.
Yeah, you gotta fix that shit.
Like
You gotta,
32
yeah.
sheets of plywood. And,
Wow.
so
That's awesome.
yeah, it was really. It looks good too.
Yeah, nice. Now you don't have to worry about it ever again.
I did mine. I did mine myself. I
Yeah.
did mine like a man.
Yeah,
I'll probably end up doing mine myself too,
I'm not that much of a man anymore.
unless it gets
I
unless
mean,
it gets damaged.
30 year ago, man.
Yeah, 30 years ago,
Hey,
I
do
could
it.
have easily.
You do it like a man falling off your roof.
No, that was on my mind the whole time. The whole
Do it like
time. I fucking
like a
hate
man in
heights. Mike knows. I went up there.
Do it like a man
you
in
know
a
me,
body cast.
I am a weenie. I hate heights like a
No, you're not.
motherfucker. Holy
You're a
shit.
brave man. You
You know what?
faced
I
your
can't
fear and
believe
you
you
did
did.
it. You got it done like a man.
You know what I did? I watched a bunch of videos of what you used to do, like climb fucking trees. Those guys, they climb. They use like ropes to
Oh, yeah.
go up. Yeah, I kind of am addicted. Like there's this gnarly tree between two fucking houses in an alley. It's got a trunk like this. All right, no problem. They got a crane. They got this guy. Yeah, and he just wears a webcam on his helmet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, fucking yeah, it is cool. I got that rabbit hole one day. I watched a bunch of trees go down.
Yeah, we took a lot of big trees down in on the east side between these really fancy houses. They were damaged by the hurricane. You had to lower all the limbs. Each limb, you had to lower it.
Yeah, fancy houses too. Expensive fancy houses. Really expensive fancy houses. Hey yo, your chainsaw hell above them. Fuck
Yeah.
me.
They got a lot of nice videos out there. People doing these fancy notch cuts, these hinge cuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yep, I watched those too. I did, yeah. How to make the notch and just how to look at the all that shit. Yeah, I could do it, but I ain't gonna. Now I could.
Yeah. That's for young men to do.
Yeah,
I ain't going up in a tree with a chainsaw no more, ever again.
but it's fucked. Like I said, I know a guy who did that. Fuck that.
You need a guy to do the perimeter of around the house because we got quite a few trees around the house and 3-man show. Young guy, he's got the bucket, and the other two guys just collect the branches, and they're going at it for like 3-4 hours, and you get out there and you're hard pressed to see what they even did. I mean, I'm watching them do it, they're doing it, and it's like $2,000,
Yeah, it's good.
Well, was it
money
a
in
trim job? Did you trim, or were they taking trees down?
No, it's just a trim job, just trims, and
Yeah, a lot of times you can save a tree. Like people have these beautiful trees, and they get these suckers all growing on the branches, and it
Yep.
fills in that canopy, and the wind can't blow through the tree. But if you just go in and trim off all the suckers, the tree looks beautiful, but the wind
Yeah.
can blow through it and won't break it.
Yep.
But those are the ones that go straight up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, get those out.
Well, I know trees around houses are a huge liability, especially
Yeah.
they get tall and then they could fall into neighbors' homes and things like that. And
Yep.
you gotta pay to have them. I got a bunch I have to take down as well, coming up the driveway. They're just too big and they're just gonna fall over and make a mess of things. And
You should just rent an excavator for a day, right?
ex-
Tear out your porch, knock some fucking trees over, just go nuts, right? Go
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 Or
give your
get-
neighbor a
get
what
someone over there with a sawmill.
Hey, well, my dinosaur.
Those are all big. Those big pines you're talking about. Get someone over there with a sawmill and mill all that up, or sell it to someone.
Yeah.
Go see Phil Hauser and say, "I got all this pine. Come get it."
Well, cool. Then we can kill your tree with throwing knives first.
It's a young, strong, and healthy guy, though. What a business to get into, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure the insurance is high. It's got to be.
Insurance is
because-
really high.
and all the equipment and everything. But once you get that, you're making, they're making like $5,000 a day. They did our house. They did another
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, but the overhead's really high.
That's right. They got a lot of
Overhead's really
gear.
high.
All that
insurance,
equipment. and the
people,
insurance,
yeah.
of course, like you said, the insurance, not just liability, but their own. They have to be
Yeah.
insured. Their bodies have to be insured, and that's really high.
Yeah. This guy had a bucket like from an old it looked like an old, telephone company bucket or something,
Yeah.
And his, his own chainsaws and stuff and a chipper, you know. But the stuff wasn't new. It was old,
Yeah.
Well, that
and
increases the fee is the removal, because that's a big
Right.
thing right there, removing the wood and having a place to dump it. Like that brought my fee down when I had them do my parents' place. That because
Right.
I just wanted, you didn't have to take anything away. I just wanted left on the property, and we're going to cut it up for firewood and whatnot. But that
but
reduced
they
the fee
doubled.
by about 2/3, because a
Right.
lot of it was getting rid of the brush and the wood.
Yeah, but I mean they're making money on both ends with that though. They're either using that wood or selling it.
uh, or dumping it.
So they're
Or dumping it, more likely.
Yeah.
if
If
it's
you're
good
in the
wood,
if
they
you're
ain't
in the
dumping it up
if you're
there.
an arborist, right, you don't have time to mess around delivering.
No, but they have
firewood.
connections, they have guys like you were
Yeah,
just
some
saying,
people will
I've got
do that. Yeah, yes. Some
I've
people.
got all this oak,
Yeah, are
I've
set
got all
up
this
for
oak
that.
and maple,
Yeah.
they
Used
know
to
who to
dump it.
call.
Some people are set up for that, and if it's a good timber piece, like Mike was saying, they would call somebody over and sell it to someone who deals in like timber and stuff like. They know how to cut it in length and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to do that. Don't waste it.
But
Don't waste
This
that.
guy
That's
showed
nice.
up. This guy showed up, right? He had wild red hair. The tree fellers, what they're called, right?
tree fellas.
He had wild red hair. He had the like all over his face. The guy's like 6'5", 6'6", probably a couple over 200
and his
pounds,
name was Jan Janssen.
Hey, how was Mental Dental?
Mental dental.
Gentle Dental
I
was
mean-
great, man.
Was it?
It was great. Yeah.
Was it
they,
mental?
they got me right in there. Yep. It's a good company. It's good company. I highly recommend them.
You have some work done?
I'm getting a crown.
Yeah.
I got a weak tooth that was saved by my last dentist, but it was no guarantee kind of thing. Just chomped down on some ice cubes, chomped down on an ice cube, broke a tooth
Yeah.
last October.
Really? You did
And,
it that late in your life?
It actually happens more often later in life, because
Yeah.
because they get brittle from decay and whatnot.
Well, you could just
She
not
goes-
do that.
She goes,
Oh,
"Did
you
we
mean
have the
like
ice
not
cube talk?"
crunch ice,
like not
yeah,
act like a fucking 12-year-old.
He's 60 and he's like chomping ice.
Ah, no.
She goes, "Did we have the ice cube
I'm
talk?"
out of,
I'm like, "No,
I'm out of the
don't
refrigerator.
chew ice."
I bite the
Yeah,
ice
no.
cube.
I broke one. I was eating popcorn and I didn't know there was a kernel that was unpopped.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in the popcorn, and I broke
That's
it too.
dangerous.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
How about an olive pit? Not knowing that's there.
I've done that. And a cherry pit too. Cherry pit chipped my tooth once.
Yeah, that vibration goes through your skull. It's like you're a bell.
You got to.
Especially worse if there's nothing
All
in there and
right.
it's echoing
Yeah.
around.
It's clear. Yeah. There was no reason for that. That was all in your head.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. Yeah, your teeth are delicate even under the best of circumstances.
Yeah, I forget.
All these idiots who open like beer bottles with their
Yeah.
beer caps for their teeth. And
Oh,
stuff.
that's a rabbit hole on
Oh,
YouTube, right?
man, yeah.
Guys,
Like,
the guys losing it one after another.
oof.
They all look like frat boys, but not all. Some
I
look
used
like,
to have these dreams when I was a little kid that I would like move my jaw and all my teeth would come out. I'd be
Ooh.
spitting them out and stuff.
I never did that.
Yeah, I think
And then
I've had that
I
dream
found out
too.
later that my brother used to have the same dreams.
Yeah,
I never
I've had
one.
that dream too.
Did you?
Yep.
Like all of a sudden they just start like they're weak and they just
Oh, that's fun.
Speaking of frats, my daughter joined a frat.
Oh yeah,
really.
Yeah,
I didn't know women could do that.
the Pi Mu
And tap a
Epsilon.
keg.
They're letting women in frats.
Yeah, it's a co-ed frat.
Oh no,
They have they
they
don't
have spanking.
Hazing. Watch
Go
out for the
ahead.
spank
Oh
kids.
no, that's funny. No, it's actually they have no like physical like building or like dorm or anything like that. It's It's strictly for math heads, and it's like they have like 316 chapters across the country, and they do math competitions and stuff like this.
Oh wow.
It's very, it's all about because when you graduate, you want to wear like if you belong to all these different organizations at school now, they have you wear like what do you call it? Indicators of those prestigious little things. So everybody wants like
armbands.
yeah, whether it's
Armbands on the arm.
Dude, I saw Animal House, man. That's not the way it works.
yeah.
I saw Animal House.
So,
You ain't fooling me.
well, if they had like a physical house, yeah, I would be concerned, but they
Yes.
don't. I think they meet in the library or something like that. They don't have such things at Rick like that. They don't have frats at Rick.
Well, look, if it's a math frat, you pretty much don't have to worry about them partying too wild,
No, man, we have like it's
The
gonna be a
math
fight.
geeks don't. The math geeks don't tear it up like like the football jocks or the.
No, they'll be solving problems. A bunch of people solving problems.
But it's just funny, It's just anyway.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a thing to say. My daughter joined the frat, so it's like,
Yeah, you think
hey, okay.
You go
think
into
that
their
she's
frat
gonna
house
get-
and there's big
You made it,
chalkboards
buddy.
on the walls.
You've done things with your life.
No, really,
You got a
it's
roof-
true. I
you got
read
a
a,
roof, you got a daughter
I
in
read a book
frat.
by Michio Kaku. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
what him and his friends used to do on a Friday night, right? Math guys, he'd show up with one of them sketch pads, right? The 200-page sketch pad,
Oh yeah.
and each guy would bring a fresh sketch pad, and they do this big long equation, right? Fill up the whole thing, both sides.
I thought
And
you were
then-
going to say they were going to draw each other's penises.
I was
or
waiting.
something.
I thought.
No, these are the math guys. These aren't the
Maybe,
Oh, I know.
maybe this goes
different
somewhere.
club.
Probably
This
doesn't.
isn't the
sorry.
Glee. This isn't the Glee club. Anyways, then they'd finish the equation, right?
Yeah.
And then they'd switch and each go over the guy next to him to make sure he didn't make any mistakes. And then they'd switch again so that you'd see everybody else's work. And that's what they do for a Friday night for excitement.
Imagine what they do on Saturday.
Supplies.
Draw each other's penises.
That's Saturday night. Yeah.
Supplies.
Measure. They measure their stuff.
yeah.
They measure things.
Make comparisons.
Anyways, he said he would leave there at 4 or 5 in the morning. He couldn't find his car. Couldn't remember where he put his
I
car
can
because
relate
he
to
was so
that.
drained. Brain was so drained.
Yeah, those guys, they can solve the world's problems, but they can't cross the street.
They put a mate on the moon, but
Yada yada.
yada 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 yada.
No common sense.
Well,
Einstein went to school once without his pants on.
Did
He
he?
was teaching. He was in New Jersey. He's thinking about something. Walked out of the house without his pants on.
who's this?
Einstein.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's a popular story they tell. Who knows if it's really true?
I'm saying probably.
He
not.
probably did that on purpose, man.
Yeah,
That's
I
right. He
heard
was cultivating
quite
this
the
image.
ladies' man.
I got
He did that for his TikTok.
He did it for
Face.
views. He did it for likes. He did it for subs. That's all everybody's about now.
Yep. Content.
It is.
It's
Gotta
done
get the
here.
content. What's your George? What's your niece's YouTube channel or TikTok? Whatever.
Oh, you mean my
Release?
niece?
Is it your niece that does the serial killer stuff?
No, she sent a link that she found. That she
Okay,
was.
she
That's my
found.
wife's
Okay.
cousin. Well, I guess technically
Oh, okay.
she's my cousin, or cousin-in-law, something
Yeah.
like that. But she's always on about this and that and the other thing, and thought that this was interesting. That, oh my God, you live in a town full of. Well, she was on about reading up on Black history a lot, and she started texting me all about sundown towns and stuff like this. How come they didn't teach? Well, I mean, it's fairly common knowledge if you pay attention, but she had just learned about sundown towns, and this woman had mentioned that Foster was a sundown town, and I felt like, nah, come on, you know. Certainly
stupid.
there are people that feel like that in every place, but it's it's not endemic, to our town or anything like that. Of course not.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, she's just all on it. So I get to hear all about this Black History stuff that she is just
Oh no, are we going to get
turning
canceled
onto
because you
and
said
stuff.
Black
And
History?
hmm?
Are we going to get canceled now because you said Black History?
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the other episode. I was watching it the other day. It was the one we were on about a certain National Socialist group, and it's quite heavily edited, and which I thought,
Yeah, there were sections missing.
yes. And did you do that on purpose, or did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I even said it. I said, "There's no way I'm fucking posting this." I announced my intentions, and then I
good.
went. I sang. I was singing. I loved.
Laura
that
just
was
got-
still in there. I didn't nuke that. I lived through that. I sang.
All right.
I
Well,
got to listen
Laura
to
just got a
myself
whole
sing.
list of words
Mike
that aren't
sang,
allowed in her
too.
classroom anymore. She came home with a list of words that aren't allowed in her classroom now.
what's it?
Nick,
What?
holy shit.
Oh,
You got to watch out, man. People are
Yeah.
getting crazy.
right think, right speak.
Oh,
man.
we're old people now, man. We're those guys. We're those guys. We're the old guys. We're not
Speak
cool.
for yourself.
It's not good.
I'm in my prime.
Yeah. You're the worst kind of old guy.
The guy that walks
I was
out
the
of
worst
his
kind of
house
young
with
guy,
his
so-
pants on.
Yeah.
I had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
He's the one that walks out of his house without his pants on and doesn't on purpose.
Yeah, just saying, what? What? What?
But it reminds me of that story when you went outside, Mike, naked,
Magnificent.
and then they saw you on the news.
Oh.
Michael Kennedy.
Yes.
Hey, man. You got to throw rocks at critters in the middle of the night sometimes, you know?
Yeah, just gotta throw a rock sometimes.
It wasn't my
They
fault.
laughed
When
at
a
me.
stick won't do.
They
rock.
laughed at me. I was the kid. The raccoons were getting our chickens in Foster,
Yeah.
and I ran outside in a sheet and a can with a candle. They laughed at that for years.
The raccoons? Or the...
No, my family. The raccoons probably did too, though. It's like, what the fuck's he gonna do?
Crazy
Sign a
human
sheet with a
tricks,
candle.
man.
He's going to spook them.
That's right.
Ghost!
Yeah, that's-
I was probably going, "Oh,
Make a legend. You know?
get out of here! Legend of Walker Road over here.
I hit one that night that I was out throwing rocks. I hit one of them because I heard it.
Did you?
I heard it thump and I heard him go. "Rah!" So that was cool.
Mm.
I heard, hey, who's that? Who fucking threw a rock over there?
Right.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ. you
Jesus,
fucking
yeah.
rocks throwing bastards.
There I am, creeping around, and someone threw a rock at me. I rock.
Raccoons were coming back one night after night, just taking one, going up into a tree. You know,
I had them. They would reach in, like if they were like sleep near the fence, and the raccoon would reach in and whatever he could grab, he would pull through the fence and he would eat that. Might be a wing,
Yeah.
might be a leg, might be a head,
yep.
and then so you'd find the rest of the chicken in there dead. You know.
It was bad decision, Dave.
Before we first got chickens, I remember Guido got in there and was like chasing them around.
Who?
Guido.
And I remember
Basset
I was
hound.
like in my teen. I was in my teens, you know, like 15 or something. And I went in there and I picked up Guido by the scruff of her back.
You
Right.
picked Guido up by
Picked
the
her up
ball.
and I threw her out of the
Ah.
chicken. She never bothered him again.
Yeah.
Never bothered him again.
That's
There's a lot
why-
to pick up there on a basset hound, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh. Woo.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. He called his dog Guido.
Guido.
Yeah,
Guido Sarducci.
Okay.
Yep, I remember Gweet.
Woo, woo,
Ooh.
woo.
Chase
Yeah.
chewing
She
rocks.
barked like
She had no
just
front
the
teeth.
two front paws would leave the ground just about that much. Boo, boo.
Oh yeah.
While the other
Right.
three were playing, right?
I've
They-
seen.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
were
yeah.
just she was like the peanut gallery. Boom, just barking at the same fucking scene all the time. It's
Remember that
fine.
big pig you had?
Huh?
Remember that big pig you had?
Oh
That would
yeah,
follow you down the
yeah.
road?
Miss Piggy, yeah. You
She
know what
was
happened
big.
to
I
her,
missed
right?
the pig.
You know what happened to her, right?
Didn't you trade her for an amp?
Yeah, I traded her to Frankie O'Rourke for a bass amp. Yeah.
That's good trade.
Good trade.
Not for the pig.
Yeah, that must have been about that pig roast. That was.
You leave me with this guy with the teeth.
You learned a lot about pigs, though. I got them when it was about this big.
Yeah.
They grow really fast, and you can't keep them in, man. You can't keep them
No,
in.
that's one of the hardest animals to contain. Is
Yeah.
pig.
But they come back.
Oh,
But all they want to do is dig a hole and sit in it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Eat grubs. That's so
Yeah.
wrong.
they're smarter than dogs. They're actually very intelligent animals.
They're the ones that fly the
Oh, yeah.
UFOs.
They were so smart they shouldn't have bit me while I was feeding them. They might have lived longer.
Right. Should have had bacon for breakfast.
Those things, man, couldn't turn your back on them.
Actually, they're pretty. I used to sit in the pen with them. And they used to come up and they used to. They'd put their head on my lap and I'd scratch their ears and stuff. And they would.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Really kind of sucked when I had to kill them and stuff. Well, I didn't have to kill them. My father did, but it was a nice learning experience when you're 10 years old. You know, it's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma had
Mhm.
stories of pigs. When she first moved out there, they left. She went to go get them, but she thought she had to because they got loose. And she went down a fire road. It was a fire road story she told me when we walked down the fire road, right? It's like the first time she went down the fire road was after them damn pigs, right? When then she got back, she found they were there. They were there waiting for her. Right? So,
Yeah, they wanna get
that's
fed.
how that works. Just don't worry about it. They'll be back.
I was never escaped, but I didn't form a relationship with them either. And so if you went in the pen, they'd be cool if you're looking at them, but if you weren't looking at them, they come up and bite you from behind.
So you get for ignoring them.
It's my favorite. One of my favorite parts in Wizard of Oz when Dorothy falls into the pig pen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that
Wow.
part.
That thing that you hear about, like in Deadwood and all those other places, they will eat people down.
Oh, yeah.
and even eat the bones too. They'll
Eat them right up all the way.
Yep. That's what they do in town, the Satan worshippers, in our little sundown town.
After they sacrifice the virgin, they throw the body into the pig with the pigs.
Where they get virgins these days, I don't know.
Not in town.
But
Man, you get laid the night before that, right? Says,
Yeah.
hey, it's me or the fucking sacrifice lady.
pretty good odds in this here vicinity.
Well, I lose it. Yeah, who wants to lose their virginity right now?
You never know what you're gonna find when you're walking in the woods of Foster, man. You could walk up on a nudist colony. You could walk up on fucking Satanists.
Yep.
You know.
tripping your
God
brains
knows
out, walking into a nudist camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Where
back the
the
next day.
fuck
It's
are
not really there.
I swear.
Dire Woods, old
I
Dire
just
Woods.
want more of that.
Yeah.
Right? Just go back to the dealers.
Are they still
blew
there?
my mind. That really blew my mind.
I'm being a naked.
Are they still there?
You know
Yeah.
what's really cool is that they had like little hobbit homes, like these little
Yeah.
caricature homes all through the woods there, so it kind of like gave it that like Oz or Middle Earth kind of feel
Yeah,
to
Middle
it.
Earth is right. Like that
And-
musty basement.
Those little
smell.
hippie houses, You could
I
see
never
people
made it
sunning
in.
themselves on their deck, but you couldn't see what they were wearing because it was through the woods,
I never made it in that far. I tried.
Well,
Oh, I figured you fellas didn't belong around.
That ain't a mushroom.
here.
Well, I played for their little league team.
yeah,
Yeah.
He
Dire
played
Woods
on-
Nudist Camp.
he was the coach, right?
What?
The guy was the coach.
Yeah, the guy was the coach. The Macaulays. The guy was the coach, and both his sons are on the team. Yeah.
Team.
Talk about showing up without your pants on.
Team.
Did they like to play naked?
We get that question every game,
Well,
But
we got
I
the
wish I
coach-
still had my
We got
Sorry,
a
which
coach
shirt?
on trial from South Kingston here for like he was checking naked teenage boys for fat content, and he got in trouble for it. And he's on trial now. It's a South Kingston football coach or something.
Yeah, it's a pincher. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
There's too much there too.
they were trying to determine if there was some kind of sexual thing going on.
I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, other than like a professional approach to measuring fat content in male athletes, teenage boy athletes, and stuff like
You
that.
should.
Yeah, they're fine. Just put them on the field, fucker. Just knock it off. Yeah, that's all suspect anyway. It's almost like impossible to believe it. Like, you just start thinking, like, anybody who has anything to do with children as a profession,
Yeah,
probably
it's like,
fucked in their heads.
Where's the line?
Only
you
just
know?
let women do it, you know?
And the line's constantly.
Well, they're always
A little
finding
bit.
women who are
But
having sex with their students.
doesn't matter, man.
But that's a world of difference between, a pre-adolescent or adolescent boy finding out there's a nudist camp in the woods near his house.
They really got you,
Why
huh?
did I spend so much time in the woods, Michael?
Seriously,
The great outdoors.
It's a stack of Playboys. Put them there. Extend Cole. Oh no. How about these-
I just saw an article about that, one of those things about generational things that kids today won't ever find. Like, one of the things they were mentioning was like finding that stack of dirty books in the woods.
I know. That was just a Google search away.
Like, yeah, that's a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
They were saying like every
Cool.
park and
That's good.
vacant
That's
lot
fine.
like
I'm good with
a
that.
gold mine for a young boy on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Well, imagine what we could do back then. Knowing Dyer Woods was right out there, right? We could get a drone. We could go on Google Maps. We could plot out the whole route.
Like, it was one of those things. We had always heard about that there was a nudist camp in Foster, but I
Yeah.
never imagined like where it was or anything. It was like something you heard all your life.
Yeah.
You'd be tripping and like just all of a sudden stumble into it in the middle of the woods was fucking mind blowing.
Yeah, you go in the woods, take off your clothes, and make one.
Well, there's when I was out in Mathis Vineyard out there,
No,
out
I'm
there
naked
by
in the
Oak
woods.
Bluffs, where they had the shack sign there. Remember
Oh yeah,
filming
yeah.
it? There's a nudist beach, and so I wandered on it. And usually when you go see nudist things, it's like a lot of fat old people and stuff. These are young people in their prime. See, so
Oh, nice.
So it was a good nudist
so
camp.
it's a good nudist beach.
It's a
So
good one.
That was the only good one I
You're
experienced.
a good one.
It was only worth.
I have a friend who used to have a gig every year at a nudist place in Connecticut. They had a big party, like, and all their customers would come to this big party,
Ugh.
and it was a nudist.
I can almost
Party.
smell it.
They were clean.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
as they are.
My,
But they-
my uncle really went to one every year up in the Berkshires. There's this camp, this resort in the Berkshires where a lot of, and they used to go every year, and they'd have parties. They would have a big dance hall, and they would have costume balls and all that sort of
Spicy
stuff.
food.
They would have hanging balls. They would have hairy balls.
Yeah, right. Bread covered, deep fried, baked balls.
Baked ball. But they really enjoyed it. They went every year, and it was quite a scene, I guess.
Yeah,
you
I don't know.
nudist scene.
Yeah, a lot of them are
Sorry, I guess.
family friendly.
Yeah.
They're not like weird.
Family
sex-
friendly, yes. Family friendly.
Well, I just want
I
you guys to know, if you ever come up here, it's clothing optional here. So
Nice, nice.
All right. I don't want to hear any fallout. All right. I don't want to hear any grief.
you might see some
I
fallout,
will
but you
ruin
won't
your
hear any.
You,
Something's gonna fall out.
oh yeah.
You might see a lot of
How about
fallout,
some of
but
the
you won't hear
beans
any.
I'm famous for? We're gonna see what
There's
happens.
a sign, right? Clothing
We're
optional.
driving around in Quebec, and up there they don't have any morals, so they have a lot of these nudist camps, and right out on the highway,
Yeah, well,
the highway
now we're getting
sign.
flagged. You can't say
The
that.
highway sign has, in French,
Whole
it
race
says
of
nudist,
people.
nudist resort.
Everyone.
And it's
everyone.
got these little, the international symbol for people. Well, it's got little naked butts on them. And they're right out on the highway, like, hey, yeah, come to the nudist camp, It's an official, like, highway sign. Exit 13, get off here, It's
Get
wild.
off here.
Hey, no, these are family. They had the mom, the dad, and the two little kids with the little butts drawn on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real culture shock when you're hanging out in New Brunswick and they're so repressed in New Brunswick, and you go across the border and it's just nuts.
It's wide open.
Billboards, and every convenience store has a porn section, and it's really wild.
Free country, eh?
A strip club every mile down that road down the Gaspé.
Yeah.
To cater to all the New Brunswick people running across the border, trying to escape their repressed lives there.
That's right. You get a
Yep.
feel for what kind of people live in town. We get government.
No, I like
checks.
it up there. I like their sensibilities up there. It's great.
Yep.
Although I was a little shocked on St. Catherine Street, though. Wow, billboards and billboards and billboards and billboards, And there's a cathedral right in the middle of it, and everybody's going to
Yeah. Yep.
Easter Sunday. We were there for Easter. Everybody was going to Easter Sunday Mass, walking down the sidewalk with their kids, and right above them are these huge billboards of nude women and live sex shows and all this shit. It's wild.
Like Times Square
I
found
was
a
at
new
a
home.
story. I was at
It's an old home.
I was at Harbor Freight yesterday, right? And this woman at the checkout just checking me out.
Even,
She wasn't checking me out, but
even
she was
at
checking.
Harbor Freight, man.
Yeah. So she was like I would say mid-50s, semi-large, and I've seen her before there. And she's got this sleeve of tattoos, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
all the way up her arm. And right in really plain sight looked to me like a really, really good picture of Nosferatu, right? So I said, and that just bled into other things,
Oh yeah, there's
And I
some
said,
pretty cool
no,
ones.
I said, oh, Nosferatu. And she goes, no. She goes, that's the guy from Salem's Lot. That's the, the
yeah.
vampire or whatever in Salem's Lot.
Yeah,
How they kind
Nosferatu.
of look like. And that led into like The Exorcist. And that which led into like all these other like
Cool.
horror. And it was all like really well done, It's like arm of macabre,
Wow.
Macabre.
Some people are big fans of that stuff.
A lot of
Yeah.
lot
She
of
was-
people got
She was
those.
proud of it.
Just one arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was showing all these different, and it just like one morphed into the other, Salem's Lot into Exorcist,
Yeah.
into
Then they all go
on and on,
down to Salem, and they make the scene down in Salem during Friday the 13th and Halloween and stuff. We'll hang out and.
Mm.
Girl I knew got one on her arm. It was pretty cool. She got I worked with her. She turned 21. It's like the first thing she did. Come in all this. Yeah, she came to work. Just like, not touching it. And I said, I've seen that before. I told her about the ones in Hong Kong. They didn't use new needles. They were just, they just used the same needles for fucking years, I guess. Because the minute we left, everybody got a tattoo there. They were all infected. The whole ship was full of guys with infected needles, tattoos.
That's
Can you
yeah.
give me a tattoo of?
Why not?
Can you give me a tattoo of someone with hepatitis?
Mikey, you got a tattoo?
Oh no,
No, you
not
don't.
one.
We're all tattoo-less, except for Mike.
I have one.
Mike's the biker.
I can't afford it.
We were doing ours for free.
That's why, right? That's fucking.
It's the only reason. I
That's
can't
the
afford them.
All right, that's cool.
Every year I got to go to the dermatologist, and get a checkup. And they always ask me about that. What's that? My little tattoo.
I was going to ask you.
What do you think I'm here for?
What the fuck? You don't know what that is? I want to see the manager. Get it
We
off.
talk to your supervisor.
Mike, tell him it moves. I woke up this morning and it moved. It was on my other wrist. I don't know what the fuck this is.
If the psychiatrist is down the hall.
I'm
I
telling
was,
you,
I was worried, but like if you think think of the skin as an organism, right? And then you start putting dyes and chemicals into it.
Well, it's
Wow.
your largest organ. It's
Yeah.
actually an organ.
it needs to be stabbed.
So it's your largest organ, and you gotta
Take care of it.
Breathe.
Take
Yeah.
care of your skin. I did this when I was 10 years old, so I wasn't thinking about that. I just wanted a
Yeah.
skull on my arm.
Yeah, but you're not like nutto about it like some people are. Like cover themselves.
You remember John's tattoo with the circle with the sword in it? We did it at the same time. He did his, and I was doing mine. This kid Ricky was doing his, and 'cause he had read about how to do prison tattoos. He read, what was that book? It was a book about these guys in a prison, Papillon,
Oh yeah.
and there was a description of how to do tattoos in there, and so we started doing these tattoos. And then I thought, what if I grow up and I don't want a skull on my arm? And you couldn't get rid of it, so I stopped doing it. I just had a little line there.
Well, remember when Billy came back from prison with his prison tattoos?
Oh, yeah.
That kind of like queered the whole deal for me. Like I didn't want to ever have a tattoo after the ones he had on his.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's really, they did like these women with spread eagle, and hairy, bush and whatnot.
My grandpa
Yeah.
had tattoos. My grandpa had a girl right there, dirty girl like thing. I remember that right on his forearm. Fucking Popeye.
Popeye.
I was gonna get, you get the EST for established, and I was gonna get this EST 1964.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. Because years later I thought, no, I was born in 64. I was established in 63.
You've been wrong.
That would have been wrong.
That's right.
Well, you put an X to
Well,
the 4
yeah.
and put a 3.
I mean, other cultures, yeah. I mean, they don't start year one until you've been born
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
stuff. And,
Right.
Yeah. Wasn't
well,
the
I mean,
millennial?
no, it says you're conceived. You start as 1 year old when you're born. So you're a year old when you're born,
Wow.
and then when you are lived a year, then that's year 2, and so on. And other cultures, some do it when you're conceived, and I don't know.
I know when one swimmer wins.
When the swimmer
It all
wins,
begins.
wins the competition.
Woohoo! All right. Little pollywog looking motherfucker. Hey, do you know that the ones that win got a strategy? It's not the ones that just blow hard towards it, right? Some of them like hang out, like they'll hide. They wait for like the rush, like a rush hour. Like you avoid sometimes you go to work. You'll like back off or go early, or something,
Buongiorno.
right?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
to see
How are
you.
you?
Good.
How's Joy?
Anyway,
Is she running around?
that's how they
Yes,
win.
she's up and around, and she's doing really.
That's
well.
how you
That's
won.
good.
And,
Ciao. Who's that?
That's Mikey and Mike. They're the Mikes.
Mike and Mike.
Ciao, Yolanda.
Ciao. Buongiorno.
Che si dice?
Buongiorno.
He said, "Kiddies."
Buongiorno.
Io volevo sentire buongiorno.
Yeah, I know. It's adorable.
Okay, I'm going out.
Okay, ciao.
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 nice to
sweetheart.
see you again.
Ciao.
Okay, ciao. Ciao.
Joe.
All right, George, we got the place to ourselves.
Uh-oh.
Party at Dave's.
Howdy.
We're gonna be
Yes,
drawing
I will.
each other's
Break out the
penises.
beers.
Let's go get a 30-pack. Go on the roof.
Get an Uber. Get an Uber.
Yeah, all right.
So,
We'll
George will have to
get
take
you.
an Uber back to Foster.
What if I get you on the app? What the fuck's Mikey
It
at?
costs him $30.
Can you call up a driver? I think you can, right? Can I request a
Yeah.
driver?
You want a specific driver? Can you do that?
I don't know. No one's ever done that to me.
well, yeah. I mean, can't you have like favorites? and then you
No, they
call
do
on
the
them
opposite.
on
We
like-
never want that guy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. I got
You
a few of
can
those. I'm sure.
right. You can discriminate, but you can't get a favorite driver if you wanted to.
I don't know.
Uh,
You would know more than me. You ride them.
not me.
They would know anyway.
I've never taken.
They
an
would.
Uber. I don't know.
No, I'm
You
fucked it
ever
up so
driven them up-
badly. I've had to give him cash just to finish out the fare. Because I can't. Apparently, I can't drink an Uber either. Like fucking one eye and shit. Oh, I gotta get my Uber. I bet yeah, that's true. That really happened. I was with another guy. Me and him went to a party, and we knew we were gonna drink. So now I had to get like two fare. You know, to stop. You get that fare where it stops one place and it goes to the other place. That's what I wanted, but I fucked up and I just gave the driver 20 to finish the route for me instead of attacking that again. So,
Money talks, baby. Money talks.
Yeah,
How do they do? How do they do tips?
it's right in the app.
It's all
You
done
give
through the app.
5 stars, all that shit. You know, give them the max. I give them the max.
I had a guy try to tip me with alcohol the other day. He said, "Hey, you drink?" I said, "No, I don't actually."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I usually give my driver a beer.
Usually.
Yeah, but you can buy me. You give me coffee money. Coffee money.
Just
Well,
cash
boys, I
me.
guess I'll see you next week.
Yeah, man.
Be a long time, so take care of yourselves and
Take your antibiotics.
everybody out there.
Take your antibiotics.
Yes.